everybody, welcome to Realm of the Sacred Roots. I wanted to talk to you guys today about knowing a deity fully for yourself. A lot of times we learn about a specific deity from a school or from how we were raised at home, from friends, TV, even going to church. We learn about certain things from certain places, from hearing about someone else's experience. And those are all okay, and those are all fine and good. And but listen to what other people have to say, and then you still have to make your own opinion of what you've heard. And I recommend, and this is what this video is about, you experiencing it for yourself. You experiencing this this entity for yourself, and not just taking it based on the word of somebody else, not taking it just on the history book or what a myth is telling you about. Again, it's good to know all of those things. It's good to have all of those things in your repertoire, in your book of where you keep all your list of different spirits and what they are and what they do. But to know the spirit for yourself, to know the deity, I'm using these words interchangeably because depending on what you believe or who you believe in, but you are able to learn something specific that they want to share with you, and you can add that, and it will be your own experience, and that's what is important. That's what matters, because that ends up being what is very real to you because you've experienced it. So now you can tell your story based on very real facts of what you've experienced, not just what so-and-so told you or what you read or what the pastor may have said. Now you have had your own experience. Well, let me tell you where this story is going. I used to go to church and I was raised in church, and that's all fine and good. What happened is as I was getting older and I was going to church for myself, no longer the church that I was taught or my parents were going to, but I found my own church and I started to go. But then I started to see how the church was being managed. I started to see how the money was going and how the people were acting and what they would do, and the things that were being preached about. It wasn't actually being lived by the members of the church, and not just the members of the church, but by the staff in the church. And I think that was even more so. And what was even worse, by the pastors. It wasn't even being adhered to. The word that was being preached wasn't being adhered to by the pastors. So I had a problem with that, obviously, because I was real about it. No matter what I'm doing and what I'm in, I want to be real about this thing. This is not fake to me. This is very real. Well, anyways, it left a really bad taste in my mouth when we started having money issues, and the plate was going around, 4 or 5 times a service, when we have scandals, and then this one's cheating on that one. And I'm talking about in the pulpit. I wasn't even really talking about in the congregation, which was really sad, actually, because I was at a point in my life where I really wanted to grab a hold of this by the reins and go forward in ministry that way. And this prevented that. It really was a hard hit. And I tried twice. I left the church, and I even went back to the church hoping that things were different, and they were not. It was actually worse the second time around, and then I left the church for good. So that was kind of a really quick, brief scenario for what happened to me in church. Well, because it left such a bad taste in my mouth, I ended up pulling away completely from church and never went back. And I found that I couldn't tie, and in this case, because I was a Christian at the time, going to a Christian church or non-denominational church, but still believed in the word, still believed in the Bible. So that would be God and Jesus. Well, because of all of this going on, I didn't know where I stood. I didn't know what that meant. Now that I have left the church, what does that mean for God and Jesus? What do I do with them now? Like, what does that mean? So I had to understand, and I had to realize something. And this would probably be, if you have to shut the video off after this, this would probably be the main point. I had to learn how to separate what they were doing, what man was doing in church, right? As running the church as a business and collecting money and the events they would have and everything else. I had to see that as a separate entity, or see it as a business, versus what I went to church for, which was my spirituality. It was for praying and having a communication between me and God, okay, me and Jesus. And I had to try to separate those things from the church that man was really screwing up. So that took me years to do, to be honest. And even still, sometimes now I have to like ask myself and remember, wait a minute, this is not connected. This is not tied. Because remember, a lot of us were brainwashed when we were kids. A lot of us were, and maybe not purposefully, maybe our parents thought they were doing the right thing, or, you know, our friends thought they told us the right thing, or whatever it was. But, you know, it's not working for us now. Now that we're older and we're able to separate the two, we can now say, okay, I can find my own path. So I wanted to find a personal relationship between God and I, Jesus and I. And that is what I wanted to bring to you today. Even when we talk about different maybe gods and goddesses, each one is different. You will have a different relationship with one entity, and a different relationship with another one. And the same with me. And let's say a friend of mine does well with Lilith. I might not do so well with Lilith, but I might do good with Morgan. And he might not do so well with her. So it's like, it just depends on where we're at. It depends on our connection. It depends on a whole lot of things. My point is no matter what some people say about the specific deity that they work with, you have to work with them for yourself in order to truly get and understand what it is about them that you're supposed to get out of that. Because there's something in it very specific for you that wasn't for your friend. That was just for you alone. So I had to step away and I had to say, okay, Jesus and I were tight before, and I didn't have these other issues that church brought on, you know. So why would I throw him out? You know, like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Why would I just throw him away because the church screwed up? That doesn't make any sense to me. We've gone through things, right? Like, a lot of you know that I used to have issues or fights with demonic entities before I ended up working with them. But initially, we didn't do so well together. And Jesus is bad, you know. He is the baddest, whether you want to call him a savior, a prophet, a brother, whatever you want to call him. There's no denying he is badass, okay? So that relationship that I have with him, I'm not willing to forfeit or to give up because of, you know, something that the church is doing, something that man has done, you know, just to do with it, because they're going to have to answer for what they do. It has nothing to do with me. I'm doing my part. So that's how I see it and saw it. So I know it has a bad stigma as well. Jesus. I don't even like it when people come to, you know, to my door or push you with it. Like, I don't need you pushing anything on me. I don't need that from you. I want to do my thing, and I want to do me. And I implore you to do you as well, no matter what the entity is, no matter what it sounds like to people, or people can say whatever. It doesn't matter. It's your connection with that spirit or entity is what counts. So I just wanted to encourage you to not let man, when I say man, do not let society, church, whomever, family, friends, taint your relationship or change the way you view your relationship with an entity that you have worked with, that you have a relationship with, because that is your arsenal. That is your spirit team working on your behalf, and it has nothing to do with them. So I just wanted to encourage you. I was sitting there thinking about this, and I said somebody might be able to use this. So I wanted to definitely mention tonight to go ahead and keep that entity around if they've worked with you before, and separate what man has done to screw things up. Don't let that interfere with your relationship with your entity. So hopefully that's helped. I appreciate you guys watching. This is a little shorter video tonight. I have some things I have to take care of, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you again for watching. Bye.